Oregon senators are backing federal legislation to combat urban heat islands. So that's the phrase used to describe what happens when urban areas experience higher temperatures because of development. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is covering this story for us in the newsroom this morning. So Thomas, let's talk about what exactly this legislation will do.
Well, Drew, it would create a $30 million grant program providing funding to plant trees and add cooling centers nationwide. It targets areas with a lack of shade, heavy populations, and a large amount of parking lots, sidewalks, and roads. All that pavement really drives up temperatures. Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley says areas like East Portland with few trees are dangerously exposed to extreme heat. His colleague, Senator Wyden, said in a statement, it's a must for federal investment to help local communities respond to this life and death risk. Wyden went on to say the bill would provide resources for farm workers, construction workers, and everybody working or living outside. And this legislation comes as areas across the country have been hard hit by heat waves recently. In 2021, 72 people died in Multnomah County as temperatures hit a record-breaking 116 degrees in late June. Nearly 100 people died as part of that heat wave statewide. And last year, we topped 100 degrees 4 times, including 3 days in a row here in Portland. The highest temperature was 104. Now, under this bill, money would be available for local, metro, and tribal governments. Let's bring in Rod now, and I know you're noticing some of those interesting heat trends, right?
Yeah, Thomas, we've done a number of stories on this over the last few years, stories that were centered around the fact that we're simply losing our 70-degree afternoons in the summer, being replaced with days where the highs are in the 80s and 90s, increased need for air conditioning because of that. And just a mini snapshot of the last 2 seasons. The summer season of 2023 produced 26 days of 90 plus and 4 days of 100 plus. And it was pretty similar last summer. We had 28 days of 90 plus and 4 days of 100 plus. And if you compute the average, just going back to 2000, the average number of 90-degree days we have each summer is now roughly 20. Now, you go back in the decade of the 70s and 80s, that average was about a dozen. And there's plenty of reason to believe that this number will eventually become more like 30 90-degree days expected in any given season. That is a tripling of the number of 90-degree days in a period roughly of 50 to 60 years. That's really fast.